Tarzaned has recently been on a massive popularity upswing in the League of Legends community. Challenger jungler and controversial streamer, Tarzaned has been known for being a super dominant NA solo queue player, hitting rank 1 multiple times, and even making Challenger on the more difficult Korea server. More recently, he performed incredibly well in the Twitch Rivals series, an event where he demonstrated that he could hang with and even outclass aspiring pros in a high-pressure environment. This series of accomplishments is, however, far from being free of drama. Tarzaned has been banned multiple times from Twitch and League of Legends. He has raged at and or threatened players to meme degrees, and I dare say Tarzaned may have not been what Riot had in mind when they wrote the Summoner's Code. I need to also note that Tarzaned has been making a lot of promises that he intends to improve his behavior. Regardless of the outcome though, this video isn't a complete focus on Tarzand's personality. What I'm more interested in exploring is why someone who appears to be so emotionally volatile and at times a little extreme can be so in control when it comes to jungling. And what about Tarzand's gameplay is making him stand out versus the competition? At the end of this video, you will not only have clicked those subscribe and notification bells, do it, but you will also be able to take the best parts of Tarzaned into your games. And with a little more confidence, a better understanding of what superior pathing looks like, smarter solo queue champion selection, and a dedication to winning at all costs, you could probably find some similar results. Let's do it. Before proceeding into the nitty-gritty of Tarzand's in-game tendencies, I need to challenge some community perceptions. By community standards, most of your favorite League of Legends players are toxic. I'm toxic, Dope is toxic, Nightblue's toxic, and Tarzaned is definitely toxic. I'd argue someone like Wrist, for example, whom is quite zen-like in-game, might actually be a rarity instead of the norm. The more you care about being one of the best at League of Legends, naturally, the more toxic you are likely to become. It starts harmless, you'll get competitive, you'll main one role or a champion more often, and then you'll begin to obsess over min-maxing, and you might harshly judge your teammates' in-game performances more. And then, before you know it, you are heavily scrutinizing in the pre-game lobby, dodging more, and slowly your in-game strategies build off of expecting the worst from your teammates. Suddenly, as you climb, you begin to find that those players rarely care about winning as much as you do, and become a roadblock to your success. Inevitably, you find yourself at odds with these personality types. Worst case scenario, now this manifests into behaviors that aren't productive, like raging, inting, or sabotaging yourself in future games. These are obvious, but you as a viewer need to understand as you improve into Diamond and beyond, your ability to control the game becomes more dependent on others' performances. Your edge is now becoming smaller. Any bad decision at 2 minutes and 30 seconds can actually be something you might not be able to fix and or carry. These realities quickly become like black holes of wasted time for streamers and players, and you get the varying degrees of toxicity. Now, I might call my teammates inbred, Nightblue might witch hunt Nubrak, and Tarzaned might just tell someone that he's going to break their head. Neither is okay, neither is productive, but there is a reason that a lot of your favorite professional players and streamers are reformed. Competition breeds excellence, as well as creates Michael Jordans and Kobe Bryants, who quite frankly talked a ton of shit to opponents and teammates. Again, I'm not making excuses for any behaviors, don't crucify me in my comments section, although you should still comment. Now that we got that out of the way and talked all about toxicity, let's move on to Tarzand's playstyle. Tarzaned plays champions that 1v9 well. Some of his staples that he has been most known for are Graves, Olaf, Rek'Sai, and previously a while back Hecarim. A big reason he finds a lot of success in solo queue with these champions in particular is that his picks tend to be very hard to fuck up once they get leads. It's pretty hard to throw away a lead with something like Graves, who once ahead stays ahead and is tough to kill. When Tarzaned tries his hardest to climb, he won't be playing Lee Sin or mechanically complex champions. Despite his reputation of being arrogant, I know from catching some of his streams that he himself has admitted that he thinks he's not as mechanically solid as other players. However, he plays to win, and his picks reflect a focus on that. He isn't trying to show off with his selections, he isn't trying to go out of his way to ego you mechanically. A match against Tarzaned is going to be a pop quiz on how well-rounded your jungle knowledge is. His picks also tend to be aggressive early, so fail to ward for invades that you should have warded for, and he will likely challenge you with his pathing and try to snowball the game before the first scuttle spawns. I personally love studying Tarzan's gameplay because there is a confidence in his champion picks and his opens. It's minimal fanciness combined with focus. This confidence can get him in trouble though, sometimes in solo queue where someone doesn't fight for a scuttle like he'd expect, but then again, not every game at high elo is winnable. And if you are new to jungle and you want to learn from Tarzan's champion picks, remember that you can carry a game with damage taken stats as well as the damage dealt. The takeaway here, guys, is that if you want to carry more fine picks that can deal damage and take up space on the map, either by being able to zone and absorb some cooldowns as opposed to trying to one-shot everyone in the room. There are simply too many variables in a game of League of Legends to be trying to fully squash everybody every time. You will throw, and with the catch-up mechanics that are in place in the game, even small errors can cause big throws. Okay, in order to be a good jungler, two main things need to be focused on that most all the other roles don't have to really worry about. The first thing is that when you jungle, you are basically speedrunning League of Legends. Pathing is everything. And it's not just go from blue buff to gromp to red to gank. It's how you can mechanically kite camps to make sure every path you take, every second you move around the map is efficient as possible. The second thing you need to think about is you need to be good at using your game knowledge of lane states and objectives to decide where best to invest your ganks, your time. When you watch Tarzan's pathing, it will obviously be crisp, smooth, and deliberate. He has a plan and he goes after it. There is a good lesson here and it shows why so many junglers feel so shitty in solo queue. It's called decision paralysis. And it happens a lot in the role because you can quickly become overwhelmed with how many options you have. Not making any choice at all and being gun shy can quite frankly lose your team the game. Mirroring Tarzan in the jungle for someone trying to improve means do not go into ranked and jungle without looking at your pathing beforehand, and once in the game, don't be afraid to make a call and just go for it. Are you going to power farm for a level 6 Nocturne ult? Well, make sure you have the fastest pathing studied to a T. If you're playing Xin Zhao and you want a level 3 gank, pick a target and focus on doing that as quickly as possible. Every time you touch the fountain, make what I call a train track. Path from station to station, and in transition, try to monitor lane states. Your plans will fall through, your teammates will flame you like they always do in jungle, and you will make bad calls. But for every bad call, your decision making should improve, at least if you have the mental fortitude to assess your decisions. And as mad as Tarzan can get at his teammates, you can rest assured that privately, angrily, alone in the night, the man has spent many hours reviewing his gameplay and the gameplay of others to get where he is at. So don't assume that negative outburst necessarily means that's all there is beyond the surface. I don't think a video about Tarzan is complete without a brief breakdown of the Twitch Rivals event. Now, personally, I'm still a bit salty that no one considered picking up a challenger tier top mid player for a competitive tournament. Also, I guess I'm partnered on Facebook right now, but rage aside, I did spectate a bit of the event, and one thing about Tarzan legitimately impressed me. That was his communication. A lot of players will write this aspect of competitive gaming off, and believe me, I understand. I used to do the exact same thing. In Fortnite tournaments, I noticed when I had to play competitively with teammates, one of my biggest weaknesses was my comms. And as it turns out, the teams that perform the greatest in Fortnite happen to also have excellent communication. If you watched Worlds at all for League, you will likely have noticed how tilt-proof G2's communications are while being strict and to the point. Now, this recent Twitch Rivals event, Tarzan's team won. This event isn't truly top-tier esports event caliber, and there is a fair criticism to be leveled when you wonder how Tarzan's emotions would have held up had his team not been doing so hot in the tournament. My point here is, though, that during Rivals, Tarzan not only performed well mechanically, but also acted as a surprisingly efficient shot caller for his squad. Obviously, you won't be in voice chat and solo queue, but this success to me sort of hammers home the idea that Tarzan really does have a complete idea of his game. He has a good understanding of the big picture, where a lot of junglers tend to get lost on only the jungle role and not being able to play outside of the position or outside of a singular champion. A good way to practice getting this clarity, though, is by trying to layer in your games. All that layering is in League is when you play, you try to think about what every person can do on your screen in response to an action. So if I flash and I try to all-in someone, can they flash too? Do they have a Soraka or a Shen on the map who can save them? Will they heal and escape? Being able to piece the game together in advance is what allows you to build the confidence in your calls and hopefully get to Tarzan levels of direction. To conclude, I know Tarzan might not be the best role model for in-game behavior, but realistically, how many good players and streamers really are? Believe me, fighting through players in Diamond Plus with 9 years of gameplay experience and that happen to be on full autopilot a lot of the time is mentally taxing, believe me. And hot take, in some ways I'd personally prefer players that play to win even if they get angry over the normal give up when the game gets hard types that you see in solo queue now. Ranked play is for the competitors, and Tarzan has proven multiple times that he is one of the better ones. He paths efficiently, he plays confident, without gimmick, and in high pressure situations has proven that he can keep his composure. At least for now. The champions he leans on aren't going to make your jaw drop like a Lee Sin montage might, but I can assure you the win rates from Tarzan's champion pool will. He might threaten to break your head if he loses, but even if he is raging, his results prove that that's not all he's doing. He is analyzing, he is watching streams, and he is studying more than your average player. So even if it kills Redditors across the world to know that people might get heated in a competitive video game, Tarzan is going to be around for a while, especially now. Well, unless he gets banned again. And if it's a permaban next time, at that point I guess NA might be out of luck, because until someone steps up, Tarzan is one of the best unsigned junglers in the region. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all the bullshit that YouTubers need. It really helps. And also in the comments, let me know what you want me to make a video about next. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful day, and I'm out. Peace, crackers.